Hey, this is Matt once again. What about to the video? This is another paid request, this time for Broad Stipe. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is a review of the 2009 film Sorority Row. Now, probably the last time I saw this film was maybe in it came out in 2009. I probably saw it in 2010 when I worked at the video store. Because I worked at a video store called Mr. Movies, and you could rent movies for free if you worked there, of course. And I think if this was 2010 and I talked about the film, I'd be raging and ranting on the movie. But honestly, watch it again. It wasn't that bad. It's not that good in the fact there are flaws. I think the first chunk of the movie is a bit iffy, but I do think it got a bit more fun as it went along. And I thought the second half was better than the first half. And it's not a classic, it's not an underrated gem, it's nothing like that. But there's enough stuff for me to like that I went, this is at the very least a decent time waster. Especially if you're into slasher films. I mean, when you think of 2000, especially late 2000 slasher movies, there's a lot worse remakes, like the Hitcher remake, and April Fool's Day remake. There's a lot worse. You know, I would easily watch this over Valentine. I would easily watch this over. You know what this is? It's a much better version of that Black Christmas 2019 movie. And yes, I know this is a remake of House and Sorority Row from the 80s. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that with that 2019 Black Christmas is trying to do girl power and college and all that stuff. This did that better and honestly less cringe inducing than that. Plus, you have to understand, since 2000, again, I probably saw this 2010. For over 10 years now, I've seen a lot worse movies. I mean, that was before I saw Newty, Feeders 1 and 2, Neil Breen movies, The Time Machine I Found at a Yard Sale, uh, Kingdom of Var, Hell's Highway, Razor Teeth. I've seen a lot worse movies. Now, I would say I enjoy films like the House of Wax remake, which was 2005. I really enjoy that one. That's a fun slasher movie. But this one, I thought the acting was decent. I thought that some of the kills were pretty decent. You do have Carrie Fisher in this. She's in it for like 5, 6 minutes, but she plays the house mother of the sorority, and there's a scene where she's running around shooting with a shotgun. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. Of the characters, Briana Evigan as the lead, she's fine. I kind of wish she had a little bit more of a personality. But as the movie went on, I warmed up to her and I was fine with her. Believe me, I've seen much, much worse. Leah Pipes as the bitchy Jessica. As the movie got along, she had some of the better lines. Like, she did a good job being a bitch. Kind of like the girl in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, and some of these other films where they're the catty, sarcastic, oh, either I have a rich daddy or I'm with a boyfriend who has a rich daddy, which is the case here. She has some of the better lines. Like, there's a point where they find a dead body in a vent, and she goes, "It's Mickey." What was it? It's Mickey. I know those ugly ass shoes anywhere. Or they go back. There's a party at their sorority house, and they realize some bad things are happening. They come back and everyone's gone, and one of the girls says, "Maybe everyone's dead," and so Jessica says, "Yeah, and the corpses drove their cars home, you idiot." Like I said, there's a couple kind of funny lines in this movie. There's a bit where one girl's trying to be bitchy to another, and they'll look at each other naked, and she looks down and goes, hey, waxing, it's not just for floors. So like as it went along, some of the sense of humor I actually didn't mind. The killer's weapon I didn't mind. Some may feel it's goofy. Because the beginning has a bit of a I know what you did last summer quality as well. I guess the general the plot, I haven't even gotten into that. I'm like 5 minutes, 6 minutes in. You have about five sorority ladies. You got our lead, Briana Evigan, the catty sort of leaders, bitchy Jessica, played by Leah Pipes. Rumer Willis, the daughter of Bruce Willis, is in this as a very shy, quiet. She's wearing glasses most of the time. A good chunk of the time, she's scared. Uh, she does look a bit like her dad, which was a bit. Anytime I saw her, I kept seeing her a bit of her dad, which take that for what you will. I forget her name. There's this Asian lady, and then there's another girl. I think they nicknamed her Chuds. Chud. So the five of them, they give this sixth one, Megan, to do this prank on Megan's boyfriend because Megan's boyfriend cheated on her. So they do this prank that, oh, she got roofied and she's dying, and kind of made me go, well, how long is this prank going to last? How far are they going to take it? Because they drive to the middle of nowhere, and then they're on the ground, Megan's on the ground, and like, oh, let's find a weapon, dismember. And even someone asks, well, how far is this prank going to go? And so the Garrett, the boyfriend, gets a tire iron. I guess going to try to dismember with the tire iron, which is a weird thing to do. I just like to make her not float. So she stabs and of course goes through Megan and she really does die. They realize they messed up. Of course the lead does we should tell the cops. Oh well look, well your bloody jacket is on this person and now we dumped the body in the well, so now I guess you don't have to either A be quiet with us or B we'll tell the cops. We'll tell the cops it was you. Theta Pi, do or die, we stick together, sisters stick together. So lead, because she be framed, she has to go along with it. Rumer Willis, she's too shy, scared, quiet to do anything. And the others, they are what they are. So it's 8 months later, and kind of like I know we did last summer. Although I will say this has a bit more blood than I know we did last summer. The girls have sent messages. This is after graduation, and they're ready to head on off. And there's a killer out there, takes them out one by one. And the weapon is the tire iron. Now, the reason I thought this kind of a neat weapon was the tire iron. One has been made to like an arrow, so you could throw stuff. And there's even a point where the killer tied a line to it, is throwing it, and a person's dodging, they pull it back, and they throw it again, the person's dodging, is pulling back, kind of like some type of fishing thing. So it could go through because there's the arrow end, and then another one has a knife. There's a point where there's a vent and someone's trapped in the vent, someone throws it, the killer throws it, and then takes the knife, uses the tyrant, turns it so the knife goes to the vent to slowly kill someone. And at one point, someone throws it, it goes to a person's head, and like some of the kills are kind of fun to watch. And like I said, the acting I thought was decent enough. Like I said, I've seen a lot worse. I mean, even slasher films, I've seen a lot worse. Whether it be in the '80s, stuff like Terror on Tour, Final Exam, which had really no blood, and I don't think it had any titties, and that was a lame one. Like I said, I'm not going to say this is underrated the best. When I say there are flaws, let me get into a bit of spoilers. The way it begins, I get decent shot where it's a one take going through the party, see what all these folks are doing. Like I said, I'm wondering how long is this prank going to go, and am I supposed who am I supposed to like in this? Because again, I thought the lead could use a little bit more pep in her personality. Rumer Willis, she just kind of steered, and the others, of course, are bitchy. So I'm like, okay, great. It's the the real world of characters. But as it went along, I thought I kind of found his groove a bit. The director is Stewart Hendler, who did Max Steel and a digital series called Halo 4 Forward Onto Dawn. And the writer, like one of the writers, dealt with Good Luck Chuck and Jigsaw. So is that really high caliber talent? And like when they go out to the middle of nowhere and like let's go find something sharp to dismember her. No one's watching the boyfriend. Like of all these girls, no one's watching the boyfriend to see what he's going to do. Is he going to run off? Is he going to try to call someone and change his mind? Like no one's watching this guy. Even of all the five girls, one of them would be like, "You keep watch on this guy and see what he does," but no one does. I'm like, so I thought that was really stupid. So the drop the body down the well 8 months later. I thought like they bring in Megan had a little sister and she comes by and she thinks maybe she'll join by next year. They bring her in, but they don't do a whole lot with her. She only appears maybe 3 times until the ending. I kind of would have wished she was a bit more of a primary character to develop her a bit more. It seems like maybe she was put in there to be a red herring until the end of the film. But I wish she was developed a bit more, underdeveloped bit of character. But yeah, this is like I said, this is spoilers. There's some cool deaths. I mean, the one girl's nicknamed Chud. She goes because she has sex with this doctor to get prescriptions, and the killer comes in, throws the tire iron, and goes right into the guy's head. I thought that was kind of cool. Then the girl comes out wondering where he's at. She's drinking, and the killer slams the bottle right down her throat, and like boom, goes right into her throat. And it's like mostly down her throat. Pretty decent practical effects. And then the killer cuts her throat so that the blood bubbles up and goes back into the bottle. I thought that was pretty creative. I thought that was actually not too bad of a death scene. One person gets a knife under the throat, under the chin, and you see kind of like Thomas Jane's Punisher, where he put the knife, and you see a bit of the knife here. You see a bit of the tire iron between her lips. I thought that was a nice detail. One gets an axe right to the back of his head. I thought was pretty nasty. There's one scene that doesn't make any sense, and I remember reading somewhere that this was not originally in it. The studio made them do this scene because they wanted another kill. That's why it doesn't make sense. There's a scene where the senior girls are in their shower, and you do get some titties in this, and some very nice titties. So I appreciate the nudity. At least you get some titties in this. The Leah Pipes, she's the bitchy doja. I'll just say her character name, Jessica. Jessica and the Asian lady are talking, and the Asian lady looks at this freshman going, "Why are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. You know, blah blah blah." And actually, that freshman was bitchy to her first, going, "Hey, waxing? It's not just for floors." So actually, she talked shit to the Asian lady first, I believe, and then Jessica came in, and in a way, like defending her friends. So that's the thing. Even though she's catty and bitchy, she still tried to defend her friends as well. And she's like, "Oh yeah, well, freshmen shouldn't be in here, and you know what? How about you take that towel off since you know should be in there." And then the girl takes it off. She goes, "Well, hey, if you want to see real tits, there you go. If you want to see what real tits look like, here you go." I was some of the catty bitch. It was kind of funny to me. I thought that was actually done fairly well. But then those two are talking, and they share check the other showers first. But they're talking, and there's this random girl that was also hiding in there, and she's like a freshman. She overhears that these two accidentally killed this Megan girl 8 months ago. So they leave. This girl comes out. The killer is right there, grabs her and kills her. How the fuck did the killer know she was... How the fuck did the killer get in there without anyone noticing this graduation black cloak? How did the two lead... the Jessica and the Asian, they left. How did they not notice this guy? Where is this guy hiding? In the toilet? In the shower nozzle? How did he know that there was another girl hiding in there? How did he know? Just 2 minutes ago, he was over here across town killing this girl with the bottle down her throat. Now he's over here. Did he teleport? Did he maybe moves from Jason Voorhees? And yeah, how does he know this fucking girl's there? And he just knew everything and teleport. It just, and he had nothing. None of it made sense. It's just, idea for what I read up. The studio said we need another kill. It doesn't make sense. I know, but we still need another kill. And the finale I didn't mind as well. I didn't mind in sort of the empty sorority house. There's this one bit with these jacuzzi bubbles because the jacuzzi's not working. And one person just dragged into the bubbles. Like she just dragged in, the camera follows and she disappears into the bubbles. I thought that was kind of a cool, decent shot. That's where you do kind of a iffy death where it's an aftermath and the person's been shot in the mouth with a flare gun. I like the concept, but the effects, like some of her faces burn up, it's not the best. I would say it's one of the weak, probably the weakest death because of the way it looked, that aftermath. But like I said, there's kind of some, when the lead girl takes determination, is affirmative is not the word I'm looking for. It's she decides to act on trying to help these people, and well, it says I'm in spoilers. I'm always give away the killer. Some people got let down by the killer. I can understand, but at the same time, in these type of movies, there's a lot of times where you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's the killer. Very rarely do you go, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. It was just, you might have seen it coming. I don't think I did when I first saw it, so cue me for being stupid for not seeing it. You find out it's the lead girl's boyfriend, who is the valedictorian, and he's killing these people because, number one, they know and they don't want, he doesn't want his girlfriend to get in trouble, doesn't want his girlfriend to be put away because these people are telling other people. In fact, he says that Rumer Willis told him. And also, he has this high moral fiber that, oh, these are just bitches and, they're not good for you, they're not good for us, and they're scum and they need to be taken out. I didn't mind the reveal. I didn't mind. It doesn't make sense. Well, he's crazy. If it made sense, then he wouldn't be crazy. That's the thing about crazy people. Crazy people do crazy shit. They're not supposed to make sense because they're crazy. Otherwise, they wouldn't be fucking crazy. I know some people were let down. It didn't bother me because I'm like, who else would it be? I mean, if it was Megan come back to life, some people would be like, what the fuck, really? If it was one of the sorority sisters, maybe. But then you could get into that, well, okay, would you buy them being this physical with other people? Kind of like Stream 5. Like, I buy this reveal more than Stream 5. Really? That lady who's that small and tiny did that? Whatever. So it didn't bother me as much as other people. Rumer Willis gets a moment to shine. I don't know why. For some reason, I have a feeling they did this because her dad is Bruce Willis. So, like, she's so scared for out of it. Then at the end, she comes in with a shotgun and shoots the bad guy. I have a feeling it's like, hey, it's Bruce Willis. It's John McClane's daughter. It's Bruce Willis' daughter. Give her the shotgun and she takes out the bad guy. Plus, it's one of those scenes that she's always looked as the weak. Her character looked as the weak, and this is her moment to be strong. So that was nice. and the whole place is burning down, which reminded me a bit. It was done better in the House of Rats remake, but I didn't mind the finale. The very very end has a little bit of a sequel bait ending where actually our characters have moved on because it's now a new semester, and the little sister, Beatty's little sister, is now Theta Pi, and someone cleaning up is the guy who Garrett, the boyfriend, who at one point cut his wrists and then got ran over by a car, but now he's still alive. Like that didn't need to be in it. That was like what? I would believe more Maiden coming back as a zombie more than this guy being alive. But it's like, so, like I said, there are flaws. Like the very end sort of sequel bait Steiner. Um, I mean, it doesn't ruin the film at all, but it's just like didn't need that. Some of the stuff didn't make a whole. It is silly, to be fair. But I said the acting I warmed up to. Didn't mind them. Some of the sense of humor, pieces of dialogue was kind of fun to see. Some of the kill scenes were fun to see. Like I said, the tool, the killer didn't mind. The pacing, it wasn't too boring. It was like 90 some minutes long. I thought it went by pretty quick. It might not do anything remote, truly original, but it was a decent time waster. It doesn't feel like it hammers you in with messages like the Black Christmas 2019 did. Like I say, if you like slasher films, you could do a lot worse than this movie. Like I said, you talking about remakes of slasher movies? April Fool's Day and Nightmare on Elm Street remake are way worse than this. Like this is not a bad. It's not. It's not a great movie, but it's not that bad either. Like I said, I could watch this again as a time waster, and eh, there you have it. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.